Today I woke up and my mom used a typical threat, so I'm going without you, you're not coming with me. But since it was early in the morning and Palm Sunday, she was forcing me to hurry up and it went fine. The thing with her is that when she goes out of control, she gives threats that we're not supposed to take, literally, but then again, she acts like a teenager. But after that, of course, in church we had the daily readings for Palm Sunday, and the mass started in the procession stage near the entrance, right? Then and there are lots of people, and of course, someone didn't use a restroom while we were sitting, so I smelled a lot of weird smells. There were two girls and one boy acting as a local altar servers, and I know someone might bring me a quick question. I used to be an altar server at my church, but the thing is that after about 6 whole years of serving, I dropped serving because the church started putting requirements and began to tally people for roll. This one's for kids, and there were more restrictions than what we could do before. And I feel like altar servant should be a personal call to our service, and when we can. To institutionalize it and give it requirements, I would think is pretty unfair in my opinion. Like, sure, being inconsistent is definitely something that's questionable, but like to institutionalize things, to start put things in like a tally mark to actually have attendance, I think it just gets controversial at that point. Like a lot of people have different views on this. I don't really like it. Like we should just make sure that people are consistent when it comes to this type of altar serving. But the thing is that when they begin to institutionalize it, begins put restrictions, requirements of this or that, it just became unfair in my opinion. So I just eventually dropped away. It's like being told to do something important, but then again, someone tells you that you have to do that thing that's important. Now you feel like you don't want to do it because someone's already telling you to. So I'm more on that later. I'll make a video sometime about it. Of course, as I noticed right after people received communion in the middle of the mass, I didn't receive it, but every time someone stopped kneeling on the seats right after, others went along with them. So I don't think anybody was praying at all. I mean, earlier on the way we were given our palms also, and the priest in the procession gave holy water. There were two priests, one deacon, but I know after communion some people were definitely praying, but I know others are just following signals. But later on after the mass, I decided to take a long rest after my mom took me for breakfast. I did not sleep well yesterday, and I took like 4 hours, and it was like almost 1 this time, p.m. right at this time. I could have structured this better, but I eventually went with my mom to a mall locally. And what I observed there is a typical walking, people chit chatting, babies crying, hungry people eating. The nearest Auntie Annie's or Wetzel Pretzels or local food. My mom purchased shoes and shirts during our excursion there, and I went to a local Sparrow Pizza to get some of that nice pizza. My mom then went to get some Wetzel's pretzels and shared it later on. Of course, they always taste good, but I wish Wetzel pretzel companies is that they release a 100% whole grain version of the pretzels, because I wonder what the dough would taste like, especially when you get all that tough stuff. But one part within this observation is that I wonder what people's lives around me are like. Like when I was walking around, there's two parents shutting up a crying baby. There's two other happy adults that are together. There's a group of teenagers that are eating pretzels. There's a kid with a large Lego bag with his brothers and friends, and people on their phones. Like, I wonder what's going on in their life, not in like a stalking way or anything like that. What is it like to live a day with them? What if I passed someone who just got broken up with, or someone who just had the best day ever, like the Lego kid and his brothers? Or I say about the store workers. What drama have they shared today? Has anyone tried to rob the store or something? What inside jokes are even shared that day? Another last question that I would have is that I remember when my sister, back in like pre 2020 COVID, around 2017 and 2019, used to work at a Rocky Mountain chocolate factory in that same mall. You guys go there. I don't think I remember my sister to be honest, but I think there's like a few others that are there. But those questions, I mean, I could ask that infinitely, I guess. But one big line is that the 2026 mall life is vibrant and interesting. There's a lot of people walking around. But if you guys do go to that certain Rocky Mountain chocolate factory, little historical fact about that on my side is that my sister once worked there. Anyways, of course, the question to me that I would guess is that did anyone from my school observe me while I was walking there? Like I was in complete brown clothing, so I was completely noticeable. Dark brown shirt, light khaki pants. I wonder if anyone saw me or like observed me as I was like walking around. Is what I'd also ask. Were there people from my school that I know or I don't know that were also there at that same time, even if they didn't see me at all? Like I wonder if they were there. I mean, it's just curious stuff. Like where, how, why. I mean, and I do hope someone did observe me. All right, if you guys are watching, credits to you, whatever your name is. But the thing is that when I was there, no one ever came up to me. Then later on, my mom went to a local store to send money to her relatives because she's going to be planning a trip out of here very soon. And then later on, I filmed an LSPDFR video. That one's for GTA, so that one's primarily for in my room. And the game crashed like 2 times, and like 2 times earlier, so it took me like a little bit. So I took out the trash and I did my daily chores in between. The thing is that why make this a video? Because there's not much today, not much value you could say today. But there are lives that pass us every minute. Anyone wants to know anything interesting. Finite amount of people in a mall, finite amount of possibilities and secrets. 500 people, 1,000 people in a mall, you get like 2,000 parents. Or like 2,000, like 100,000 more secrets. Think of it like a cave system in Minecraft, guys. High school is one of those cave systems, but when you look into a mall, there's a lot of people from all ages. It's a multiplayer game. There's stuff over there. There's a cave this way. There's a cave that way. There's stuff that's everywhere, in my opinion. Anyways, sometimes life flies you by, and you're not supposed to mine all of these caves and maybe enter any of them. Just gotta keep going.